Hi, my name is Vena. I'm originally from Rare, but I live in Nandi. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm John from Kornabuan, Tapua. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks.
Bula, I'm Teopola.
Bula, I'm Agnesi.
We love listening to Today FM because it rocks in Ba.
Bula, my name is Tisa. I've been listening to Today FM.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Tonight, former senior police officer charged. 6 human trafficking cases under investigation. And 9 years for money laundering.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The former director for criminal investigations, Luke Rawalai, appeared at the Suva Magistrates Court this afternoon facing corruption-related charges. The matter was initially investigated by the Fiji Police Force and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, who then referred the matter to the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption.
Former Senior Superintendent of the Fiji Police Force, Luke Rawalai, is charged with 3 counts of abuse of office and 2 counts of receiving a bribe. It is alleged that between June 2011 and March 2014, Rawalai interfered with the police investigation conducted into an allegation of rape, an act of prejudicial to the Fiji Police Force. He is also alleged to have directed the Nandi Police Station CID officers to lay charges for a particular investigation without any evidence and against the findings of the personnel in charge of the case. FICAC alleges this too is prejudicial to the Fiji Police Force. Rawalai is also alleged to have interfered with investigations conducted into an alleged forgery in the Central Division in 2014. FICAC alleges the former head of criminal investigations without lawful authority received a benefit of $2,400 and more than $5,700 on 2 separate occasions. Rawalai has been released on bail to take a plea on April 21st. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
The Fiji Police Force is investigating 6 cases of human trafficking in Fiji. This was highlighted by Research Officer Robert Turanga during the submissions to the Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs and Defence on the United Nations Convention on Transnational Organised Crime. Pranita Prakash has more.
4 cases of human trafficking have already been prosecuted by the courts in Fiji, and the most recent case was highlighted to police last month.
Recent case where there was investigations detected a case of sexual abuse, prostitution, and when investigations further developed, it turned out it was a human trafficking case. So while the human trafficking unit conducts its own investigations, there are other units that can also pick up various forms of human trafficking.
More efforts is being put into awareness on human trafficking.
And we are conducting national awareness campaigns at national and district level, including lectures in schools and for women in rural areas. We are facilitating training for law enforcement officers.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Isikeli Lingiri hopes their recommendations will be taken on board.
Assisting the Fiji police to effectively address transnational crime, contribute towards realizing government's intent to make Fiji safer and more secure.
The Fiji Police Force also shares information with the Financial Intelligence Unit on financial transactions such as money laundering. Reforms have also been undertaken to strengthen the Fiji Police Force in investigating human trafficking. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The Ministry of Health had 53 anomalies in its 2014 finances audited by the Office of the Auditor General. These include a write-off of $3.1 million and a discrepancy that showed an outstanding figure of $6.6 million. Maggie Boyle was at the Public Accounts Committee hearing and filed this report.
Ministry of Health officials today called in to explain a host of irregularities.
Had a balance of $11,160,552, while the FMIS ledger had a balance of $4,545,000. A variance of $6,615,243. Ministry of Finance in your system.
Among the red flags were unpresented checks worth $8.3 million, in addition to variances among accounts, all attributed to human error.
That we actually work with the staff. I mean, any system that relies on human input is always going to be at risk of error.
What was the reason for that? It was supposed to have a debit balance, but what was posted was a credit balance.
The general ledger had an incorrect posting, which needed to be rectified, and that had been rectified. It was the posting error.
The hearing lasted more than 2 hours, with the committee working through 53 audit issues.
Drawing account balance. As a result, the drawing account balance was overstated. How did that happen? Why was there a need to write off for 3.097 million?
We've been highlighted throughout this week that there are processes to be followed in write-off cases like this.
Most of the ministries lag behind in their reconciliation, especially in their drawings and in their trust funds reconciliations as well.
PAC has given the ministry another 2 weeks to come back to them with further clarifications. One of the issues, of course, is the breakdown of that write-off of $3 million. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Criminals who prey on innocent people's savings need to be denounced and deterred. Magistrate Shagith Somaratne sent this message in sentencing 26-year-old Manjeet Singh, convicted of 3 counts of money laundering through internet banking. Shireen Shivan reports.
Manjeet Singh will spend 9 years behind bars for stealing more than $24,000 from 2 Bank South Pacific accounts 4 years ago. Singh and his co-accused withdrew funds from one Satnarayan and one Devchand's account in December 2013. They transferred the money into the account of one Aarti Reddy and later withdrew the stolen amount. Magistrate Shagith Somaratne says Singh breached the trust of the victim and tried to implicate some innocent girls. He also asked the co-accused to involve other parties in these offences, resulting in the loss of substantial amounts of cash. Magistrate Somaratne says the public deposits their hard-earned money into banks hoping it will be safe, and it will be devastating for them to find out their money is withdrawn by criminals. He says as Fiji is becoming a regional hub in finance and therefore confidence in financial and banking institutions need to be protected to attract investments and sustain development. Singh is eligible to apply for parole after 7 years. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
The Fijian Elections Office is looking at improving postal voting in the 2018 general elections. Many voters missed out in 2014 because they didn't get the ballot papers in time, and the FEO is looking at ways to avoid this. Kelly Vadala reports.
Postal ballots are shipped out to registered voters ahead of polling day so they can exercise their right to elect a leader. The Fijian Elections Office has identified some gaps which it wants to fix come 2018.
We are working on improvements to the postal vote mechanism. Once the tenders goes out, then we will be doing more elaborate discussions on it.
The contract for delivery postal ballot was awarded to DHL in 2014. The tender for a new carrier is expected to be announced closer to the elections. Meanwhile, the FEO is processing applications for a number of new political parties.
We have received 6 reservations of name, but at this point in time, it is very important to note that unless a group is registered as a political party, they must not hold themselves out as a political party.
Many first-time voters say they are looking forward to the 2018 general elections.
This is my first time to vote, and I'm looking forward to next year. And I think it will be a good one.
Looking forward for the next year election because I know it will bring good changes.
Supervisor of Elections Sanim says Fijians who want to update information on their old voter card can now replace it with an updated version as the registration process to the 2018 general election continues. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Still to come, cane farmers learn new techniques. And refunds still available for Help for Homes.
हम लोगों में रहते हैं और मिर्ची एफएम सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मिर्ची है, हम गोल्ड टाउन तापुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची इज हॉट इन तापुआ।
Hi, we Badals. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश तापुआ में रहता है, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची एफएम is very hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
A worker at the Vatukola Gold Mines Limited died in one of the mine shafts last night. Police, the Mineral Resources Department and the mining company are now investigating. A statement from Vatakola Gold Mines Management confirms the fatality occurred in an area of the underground mine called the Smith Shaft. The statement quotes the General Manager Ling Kwan Kong saying that until the officials have completed investigations and release findings, the company is not in a position to confirm the circumstances. As today marks the beginning of the 2017 sugarcane planting season, farmers are being encouraged to continue their hard work. Close to 80 growers and other stakeholders showed up at a field day in Drasa Lautoka, eager to learn about the various services offered by the Sugarcane Resources Institution of Fiji. Ellen Stolz with the story.
Getting a crash course in the basics of how to prepare land before planting and the benefits of planting legumes were just some of the things these farmers learned today.
It's educational for the flatlands, but when we compare to the hilly side,
farmers should go to Surif, talk to FSC people and learn the tactics.
Mere Tauvoli of the Sugarcane Research Institution of Fiji says it's crucial for farmers to be kept in the loop on best practices when it comes to farming.
What we try to tell them is how to better that substrate, at least from the starting, so that that cane grows into that optimum that it should have grown to be able to produce that much sugar that we are all after.
Speaking to growers at today's field day was Fiji Sugar Corporation Chief Executive Graham Clark.
The slow decline of the sugarcane industry over the last few years is no secret. But Clark says in order for it to thrive in the future, growers and farmers need to work closely together to help boost the industry.
I would encourage you all to take more advantage of the services that are offered. I believe we have world-class services offered by our research team.
Farmers were also thrilled to learn about green manuring, raising bed plant crops, and the launch of the 2017 planting season. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
With the third phase of the Help for Homes initiative rolling out next Tuesday, Economy Minister reminded recipients the refund scheme is still active. Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum says those who have already built or repaired their homes are eligible for a refund. Said Qayyum highlights recipients must give correct information in application forms as the documents are statutory requirements.
We need to ensure that the receipts that they produce need to obviously be legitimate. Those receipts obviously need to be receipts that are post-Cyclone Winston as opposed to pre-Cyclone Winston.
Bureaucratic delays and red tape are a burden for moving goods across borders. This will be less of a problem for Fijian traders given ratification of the Trade Facilitation Agreement last month. Sainiani Boiler reports.
The implementation of Trade Facilitation Agreement in Fiji will reduce the cost of doing business by increasing efficiency and trade volumes.
Developing countries like ourselves, Fiji, stand to benefit greatly through the implementation of this agreement. And more importantly, the micro, small and medium enterprises will have major direct or induced boost through value chains if most of the costs related to trade crossing borders are reduced or eliminated.
Border agencies in Fiji are learning the ropes in terms of what changes will occur in the trade of goods.
This is something which is a new discipline in the international trade, and the private sector, especially the SMEs, can benefit a lot by this agreement which Government of Fiji has already agreed to implement and ratified. So you should also play your role to coordinate with the border regulatory agencies and the Government of Fiji to make your trade procedures more efficient.
30 officers of the Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority, Biosecurity Authority of Fiji and the Ministry of Trade are part of the 2 days workshop to familiarize themselves with the agreement. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
The parent of a student at Queen Victoria School in Tailevu has lodged a second complaint of bullying with police. Police Chief of Intelligence and Investigations, ACP Mbu Matavo, confirms the complaint is about another alleged bullying incident of her son. Matavo says they are investigating both complaints. 4 students were taken in for questioning yesterday and have been released. Officers are now creating awareness on bullying and the effects of going against the law. The 8-week program targets teachers and students. Coming up later in sports, Jamie will tell us about former Fiji Mbati Petero Divonideva visiting Hilton Special School. But before that, Rachel will join us with the latest in business. And I hear there is good news for BSP Life policyholders.
Yes, Jackie. Actually, they'll be getting a bonus payout. Also coming up tonight, potential for more outsourced services in Fiji. And in growing Fiji, new roads for 2 districts on Kandavu Island. Stay with us.
I'm Rugby from Nekota and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Stanley Goodler and I'm from Australia, but I'm part Fijian from Rugby and I love listening to Today FM Rocks.
For the best music and less talk, we tune into Today FM in Nasalai Village. Today FM rocks.
My name is Inaya Ali and I'm from Ba and I love the big breakfast on Today FM. I just love it and hope you love it too.
My name is Jay from La Paz. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Naushin and I'm from Sambeto and I love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In business tonight, BSP Life has announced the 2016 bonus allocations for its policyholders today. In making the announcement, Managing Director Malakai Nanyanga explained that there are 2 types of bonuses, the revisionary and the terminal rates. The total revisionary bonus allocation is about $18.2 million and the terminal bonus estimated at $2 million. Nanyanga says this bonus allocation has been made possible by positive investment performances.
Reversionary bonus, we have maintained bonus rate at 2% for the majority of our policyholders, while the terminal bonus rate has increased from 4.5% to from 0.45% to 0.55%.
In a bid to boost our outsourced sector on an international scale, stakeholders are discussing the possibility of a council for business process outsourcing. The BPO sector currently employs close to 3,000 people. The government hopes to increase this to around 10,000 in the coming years. Fiji's High Commissioner to Australia, Yogesh Punja, says Fiji is well positioned to address the growing needs of the nearshore market business, especially from Australia.
So we are counting on developing a specific strategy that will address the potential growth that is going to come through this industry.
The Federation Reserve has made some important announcements today. Elizabeth from HFC Bank will tell us more.
The Federal Open Market Committee released its meeting minutes this morning. The minutes show that most policymakers believe the Federal Reserve should start reducing its $4.5 trillion balance sheet this year. This move can result in tightening their monetary policy further. However, the question of when to change the balance sheet policy will depend on economic and financial conditions. In other news, investors are wary ahead of a potentially tense meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping, the first between the world's 2 most powerful leaders. They will be meeting today and tomorrow. Vinaka.
Thanks, Elizabeth. On to today's exchange rates. The Chinese yuan strengthened against our dollar to close at 3.24, while the American dollar remained steady from yesterday, closing at 47 cents. Closer to home, there was a contrast in our regional currency as the Australian dollar weakened to close at 61 cents, while the New Zealand dollar rose to close at 66 cents. Meanwhile, the PNG Kina dropped, closing at 131. Onto the commodities market, oil went down, closing at $50.86 a barrel. Gold followed a similar suit to close at $1,247 an ounce. And silver went up to close at $18.30 an ounce. In growing Fiji tonight, the Fiji Roads Authority has awarded a $5 million contract for a new Yahweh District Road and Nambuka Levu Ira Road on Kandavu Island. This is part of the development of Rural Roads Project, Eastern Division, awarded to Prem Civil Engineering. Chief Executive John Hutchinson says the new road will provide social and economic benefits to more than 3,000 people. Hutchinson says the FRA will ensure that all work carried out will have minimum impact to the environment. Work has started and is scheduled to be completed by September. And that's it from Business Tonight. With sports, here's Jamie.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening. Coming up tonight, Winston Hill secures another international fight. And we take a look at World Table Tennis Day celebrations in Suva today. This and more after the break.
Warong na radio Fiji bulan evango fina wa korviri nandi autotalitaka na warong na radio Fiji na programa ni mas masu na mataklailai
oya ochone kurinambila mai gunangoru na makete hinga toka kwe do talitakini na warong na radio Fiji gene na domo iviti
na radio Fiji na domo iviti na vonga ni BNN.
Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach Gareth Baber has named his team for this weekend's Hong Kong tournament. Making a comeback to the 7 series is Sake Katanimba, who has made the 12-member team. Also in the squad, Tasa Veramalua, Aminoni Nasilasila, Apisain Domalailai, Sivoloni Modinadangi, and Waisena Dungu. Setereki Mutiniata is the 13th player, while Nadaneli Lambalamba missed the cut. Fiji kicks off its Hong Kong campaign against Japan at 11:54 p.m. tomorrow. Meanwhile, Fiji's pool opponents, New Zealand, will be out to repeat the feat of 2014 in Hong Kong this weekend. The All Blacks. Fiji's #1 amateur boxer, Winston Hill, has secured another fight with an Australian opponent. The world #10 ranked Fijian will take on Australian champion Liam Wilson in Queensland in 3 weeks' time. Rohit there with the story.
Winston Hill will get another chance to prove his worth this month when he takes on one of Australia's best.
We're definitely keen to put our training to the test and everything that we've learned. So I'm happy about this upcoming fight.
Hill has been struggling to find an opponent to fight against. He has fought only once in the last 7 months. He says he is grateful that things are finally lining up for him.
For a long time in the past, we've been waiting for too long between fights. But now everything is rolling over and we're getting a lot of invitations into overseas competitions, and it's just a blessing.
Coach Napoleon Tamoipio says usually the fights at this level last for 3 rounds. He is hopeful for this, as this will give Hill as much exposure as possible.
You know, we always try to play the game, land our shots, you know, win on score, because once you get to an elite level in amateur boxing, it's very rare that a knockout occurs. Like in the Olympics, I think there was under 5 knockouts.
While preparations are underway, the 2016 Olympian is calling on corporate organizations to provide financial assistance.
We're actually struggling with finances in the sport, and with this competition, we're doing a little fundraiser raffle just to get money for preparation and airfares.
Liam Wilson is a 6-time Australian Golden Glove champion and a 4-time Australian champion. The fight takes place on the 22nd of this month. Rohit Deo, FPC Sports.
World Table Tennis Day was celebrated with fun activities today. People from all walks of life gathered to celebrate the contribution and achievements of the sport in Fiji. Meli Tavanga reports.
14-year-old Epara Malang is living proof of how sports can help change lives. He represented Fiji in the para table tennis singles in New Zealand last year.
I'm in love with the sport because it opened doors for me despite my disability, and I managed to win a silver medal from New Zealand last year.
Malang will also participate in the Oceania para table tennis in Suva next week.
I've been training alongside the Rewa Bridge every day, and I'm hoping to win a gold medal next week.
Fiji Table Tennis Association President Anthony Ho says the sports has grown over the years.
We have a number of children from all the special schools coming to take part.
I've been training alongside the Rewa Bridge every day, and I'm hoping to win a gold medal next week.
Where anyone can play, so you.
Students of Nosari Special School were also part of the celebration this afternoon.
The children are enjoying themselves behind me, and like we see, sports is a vital component for the development of children with special needs, and through sports we unlock their potentials, and then it enables them to be a contributing member in the society.
World Table Tennis Day is a celebration of the joy to play table tennis for fun, bringing people together where the focus is less on the competition and more on participation and fun. Melitawanga, FBC Sports.
Fijian Rugby League legend Petero Divonideva visited children at Hilton Special School in Suva today with a team from the National Rugby League out of Australia. The visit is part of the NRL's Schools Outreach Program, which Divonideva says is inclusive of all children, for all children, including those with special needs. Rohit Deo tells us more.
Smiles on the faces of young rugby fans. The National Rugby League believes children with special needs should not be left out.
Our programs are inclusive of everyone, so it's wonderful that we can go to so many different schools here in Fiji, but also too, being here at the Hilton School is about making sure everyone feels welcome by our game.
This is just the beginning, as a whole range of activities are planned for these students.
This is just, I guess, an introduction, but we'll be conducting a 5-week program here at the Hilton School coming shortly. So we're really excited to bring our programs here for the boys and girls to experience rugby league.
These students can count themselves lucky, getting to meet NRL superstar whom they've only ever seen on TV.
The main reason why Petro here is for the primary school national semi-finals and finals on Saturday, but also today is the International Development and Peace, which is the big sporting day, which is Petro is being brought here funding by the Australian government.
Similar visits have been planned to other schools in the coming days. This is all in an effort to promote rugby league in the grassroots. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
A new under-19 champion will be crowned in the Vodafone Fiji Secondary Schools Rugby League competition this Saturday, as defending champion Navasa Central did not compete this year. The grand finale will see Ratu Kandabulevu taking on Lilin Memorial at Ratu Thakambau Park in Nausori. Meli Tavanga reports.
This is the first time for Lilin Memorial to play in the final, and it needs to move training up a few notches.
From that challenged shield that they won from Ratulatianara, and again they've brought the trophy from Bapro Vincher last week, so Lilin is ready.
Apart from the trophies, the Fiji Secondary School Rugby League Committee will also be giving out prize monies for the first time.
For the under-19, the winner will receive 2,500. And the run-up 1,500. For the under-17 grade, the winner will receive 1,000, while the run-up will receive $700. For the under-15, they will receive the winner will receive $500, while the run-up will receive $300.
Former Fiji Bati player Petero Divonideva will be at the grand final as well.
This is the future of Fiji Rugby League right here, and no doubt in 10 years' time we'll be seeing some of these students that have competed on Saturday wearing the Fiji Bati jersey in the future.
LMS will take on RKS in the under-19 final at 3 p.m. on Saturday. Melitavanga, FBC Sports.
That's it from sports this evening. Catch a weather update later on with Angie. And in our new media segment, Apple finally threw Pro users a bone, but not one with any meat on it. It announced on Tuesday that the current Mac Pro will be replaced by a new model, but not this year. Find out more after the break.
Warong na Radio Fiji. Bulan na rango fina may korabiri nandi auto talitaka na warongo na Radio Fiji na programo ni mas masu na mataklaylay.
Oya ochone kurinambila mai vunagoro na makete hinga toka kwe do talitakini na warongo na Radio Fiji gene na domo ibiti.
Na Radio Fiji na domo ibiti na vonga ni bienen.
Multinational technology company Apple has uncharacteristically announced its future products, including a rethought Mac Pro, a new display, and an iMac update showing its commitment to the desktop. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It was another beautiful day, even though conditions stayed a bit cloudy and less muggy in the past few days. Now let's check out what the scenario was like in the west. It was mostly sunny with most centers hitting 31 degrees. Showers are expected for later night. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, it was also sunny with light winds, but we can expect some showers overnight. And up in Vanua Levu, sunshine covered much of the northern division, but there is more showers in store for later tonight. At sea, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for the tides, the next low tide tonight will be at 9:21, with a high tide tomorrow morning at 3:39. Sunrise is such an amazing thing to watch early morning. You can too at 6:14. Also tomorrow, it's Friday, the day that takes all the credit. But unfortunately, the weather will not be in favor for parts of Viti Levu and majority areas of Vanua Levu, as there are forecasts of heavy rain accompanied by thunderstorms. And tomorrow's temps, Nadi and Lautoka will once again be hot with highs of 31. And looking further on to Saturday, the weather will be much like tomorrow or even more intense. We will keep heads up on that. And that, Jackie, wraps up FBC weather for tonight.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On our Fijian Pulse today, we are asking, should Facebook be monitored for racial attacks?
I definitely think it should be monitored. Like now, people are misusing multimedia like Facebook and other platforms for like comments or any grudges about anybody.
It's a freedom of life, and every person has the right to that freedom of life. So yes, I think it should be monitored very seriously.
I think it's good to monitor Facebook in terms of racial attacks.
I think it's good to monitor racial attacks on Facebook.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, it's been just over a year since China abandoned its controversial one-child policy because of concerns about its increasingly elderly population. It appears to be having the desired effect, with nearly 18 million births last year. Recapping the main stories, 6 human trafficking cases under investigation, $3 million written off by Health Ministry, and 12-member team list confirmed for Hong Kong Sevens. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, this week we are asking, should stern action be taken against drunkards on streets? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, tonight's shot of the day, a snail and an ant having a conversation early morning, as described by Eleanor Vangi, who took this amazing shot. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News, or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. Until next time, from the team and I, good night.
कमल रोशनी है, हम लोगों में रहते हैं और मिर्ची एफएम सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मिर्ची है, हम गोल्ड टाउन तापुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची इज हॉट इन तापुआ।
Hi, we bad girls. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश तावरा में रहता है, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची एफएम इज वेरी हॉट।
Mirchi FM, it's hot.